Hey guys, and welcome to Gwent, the Witcher card game. My name is Jaggerous, and today I have a greedy consume monsters deck for you guys. And this deck uses the Arrakis Queen as leader. Arrakis Queen does what Unseen Elder used to do, consume 3 allies and boost self by their power. Now, the gist of this deck is that we're going to use Nekker Warriors, of which we have 3, to duplicate our Nekkers. And what our Nekkers do is, whenever you consume a card, boost this unit by 1, wherever it is, and then the Death Wish is that you summon a copy of this unit. Now, these no longer carry over between rounds, so if one dies at the end of round 1, you won't get one on the board at the start of round 2. But with Nekker Warriors, we can duplicate quite a lot of Nekkers into the deck. And then once we've done that, we can set over carryover with things like Barbagazi. We can find Nekkers to make sure that we have them in our starting hand with cards like Shadow, play a Bronze Death Wish unit from your deck. And then once we get to round 3, we just need 1 Nekker on the board. And then we can actually resurrect more with Brewis Ritual. She'll allow us to resurrect 2 Bronze Death Wish units, gets us 3 Nekkers on the board. And once you have lots of Nekkers on the board, you can then start eating them with things like Arrakis Queen and Forktail, for example, and Barbagazi. And these are going to allow us to eat the Nekkers that we've placed onto the board, so that then we can summon more Nekkers from the deck. So the objective there is to play Nekkers and eat them. Barbagazi is what Ekamar used to be. It's a 6 strength unit, consume an ally and boost self by its power. Forktail is a new card, consume 2 allies and boost self by their power, so we can run this. Alternatively, you can run Vran Warrior, but Vran Warrior can be disrupted by movement, so I quite like Forktail because it is less disruptible. We then also have Slizzard. We have 3 of these. Consume a bronze or silver unit from your graveyard, then play a copy of it from your deck. And we can actually use these to play Nekkers if we have them in the graveyard. We can also use these to draw out Nekker Warriors, because we're likely to eat our Nekker Warriors. We play a Nekker Warrior, then we can eat it with Barbagazi or Forktail, which then allows us to Slizzard out more Nekker Warriors and allows us to keep duplicating our Nekkers. So it's quite a strong kind of synergy within the bronzes. We then also have Monsters deck, spawn a Bronze Necrophage or Insectoid unit. This gives us, Behemoth. We can use this for Barbagazi to start eating things. We can use this for Ghoul to eat something big in our own graveyard. And we can actually also use this for Rotfiend, because we can then eat the Rotfiend should there be a very stacked row. We have Algul, Toad Prince, and Imperial Manticore. And the way this works is you use the Toad Prince to ideally eat the Imperial Manticore, putting it into your graveyard for a lot of points. That is a 19-point play, I believe. Then you use the Algul to consume the Imperial Manticore again and gain points that way. You could, if you want, run a different silver and run a Ghoul instead, but Algul also gives you the option of eating units from your opponent's graveyard, which can come in quite useful. Then for our golds, we have Brewis, which, like I said, we can use to resurrect 2 Nekkers. We have Igni, which is just generally good in the current meta, especially against cards like Nova. We have Kayran, consume a unit with 6 power or less and boost off by its power, so again this is another consume. And we have Regis Hire Vampire, which we can use to eat units out of our opponent's deck and also get a consume. Now, some people like to run Sleeping Giant. He's the one that when you play him, he's 12 strength and boosts all your Ogroids, but Regis does the same thing while also griefing your opponent's deck, and if you happen to have a target bigger than 6, it's actually worth more points, so that's why I prefer Regis. Also, we have Frightener in here in order to kind of gain card advantage at some point during the game. So, without further ado, I'm going to jump into a ranked game and I'll showcase this deck in action for you.
Checkmate.
Okay, so we're against Radovid, which is honestly the most awkward matchup. Though if he does kill our Nekker or lock our Nekker, we can draw more with Slizzard, so this is kind of okay. We have Algul and Imperial Manticore, but we don't have Toad Prince. I'm going to mulligan the Barbagazi. We got a Nekker. Realistically, we don't need it because we have Slizzard, so I'm going to get rid of that into a Forktail, which is quite useful. But we typically need those later on, so I'll mulligan that as well. Brewis. Not too bad.
Salutations.
Okay, so we'll play our Nekker and we'll see what happens here. If he doesn't play Radovid, we can start duplicating it. This is the thing. It's up to him as to when he plays Radovid, and if he chooses to play Radovid late, that's going to make our life a bit better.
I'm honored.
Okay, so this is awkward because, he's going to get this effect off, but realistically, we don't necessarily need to win the first round. Our objective here is just to set up our Nekker Warriors, so that's quite good. The thing is, if I play Barbagazi, that's when we'll probably see the lock. Although realistically, it's not a huge issue if he does play it. And the thing is, we don't have to maintain tempo because we won the coin flip and we're going second, so we can kind of play this out at our own pace and see how it goes. So 38 to 19. Realistically, I want to eat this so I can play my third one. But this is probably where we'll see the... Like I said, this is probably where we'll see Radovid come out. And if we don't see Radovid come out here, we'll probably pass. You see, there's the Radovid, and he's going to kill the Nekker and lock that. Which is fine, because baiting Radovid here is really good. At which point we're going to pass, because, you know, we've duplicated our Nekkers. We've done kind of what we need to do for this section. So now we just get out of the round. And we have Slizzard, so we can bring back Nekkers, and we can bring back Nekker Warriors. So all in all, we're quite happy. Here, ideally, we want a dry pass. He's going to probably go for a long round, so, you know, that is something just worth being aware of. What do we mulligan here? Ooh, it's a tough one. We maybe mulligan the Folktail for now. We got a Nekker, that's okay. And if he chooses to play into this round, we'll play the Nekker. As he passes, all we're going to do is play Barbergazi, which is going to give us carryover. What is in my graveyard? One Nekker. Well, we were able to put more Nekkers into the graveyard, so it's not a big deal, realistically, in terms of Brewis, because we can always eat a Nekker and that'll put it in the graveyard, and then we can res it with Brewis. So all in all, we're in a good position here. The question is, which of us can, you know, outpoint the other one? That's more or less what it comes down to. Okay, so we do not need all these Nekkers in hand, so we'll mulligan one of these. We actually got our Nekker Warrior, which makes our Slizzards a little bit awkward, though there is a Barbergazi in the graveyard that we can pull. And we can put Nekkers in there to pull as well, so it's pretty good. All in all, we have played one Nekker. And we've added 4 to the deck, which means we should have 5 Nekkers in deck currently. So that's just worth being aware of. 5 Nekkers in deck. So we'll play one from our hand now. And then we'll Nekker Warrior it, as is kind of our standard attempt.
Yes, sir.
So there we go. That is the last 2 duplicated into our deck. And now we can start consuming, because now this is going to start buffing them. So that's what we're going to be wanting to do. We'll look to play Regis, I think, and just find something out of his deck to eat. So Shayla into a special card, which is Rally. And then into a card draw. Okay, so let's play our Regis here. And we will eat the Aspirant. So we know he's running Aretuza now, which means we may be a little bit nervous of weather, but ultimately it's not a huge issue. It looks like Imperial Manticore we're just going to have to be playing for points, which is also okay, to be honest. So what I want to do here is I want to Slizzard a Barbergazi. The problem is at the moment we have a dead Slizzard actually, which is not very good. Although if we can put more Nekkers in the graveyard, which will make the Slizzard not dead, so it's actually fine.
Left, right.
It looks like he's just boosting himself, and that's kind of his objective there. He played Decoy onto the Shayla, onto a Rally. So here, what we want to do, play Slizzard onto Barbergazi. And actually, we could eat this Barbergazi, which gives us another target for Slizzard, which isn't a bad shout. Because if we eat this, it goes into the graveyard, which means we can play another one. Alternatively, we eat the Nekker and pull a Nekker. But we should be able to actually pull... Actually, I think I do need to eat the Nekker, because I need 2 in the graveyard, so I can pull them both with Brewis. So that puts... We added 2, so we had 7 Nekkers. So that puts 6 Nekkers left in our deck, I believe. And it's worth being aware of this. There's nothing we can do about this. So what we're going to do here is we're going to play Brewis. And we're going to res both of these Nekkers and set them up on the board like so. And like I say, it's a little bit awkward in that we don't have a whole lot of eats. Like, this is where a Folktail would have been better than an Imperial Manticore, for example. So maybe we should have mulliganed that on round 2. But, you know, I was hoping for Giant Toad. And I don't think that's a bad thing to hope for. Biggest target in his graveyard is an 8. Biggest target in my graveyard is a 9, so we'll be eating a 9. So let's just play this for now. I don't want to play it on the same row because that opens me up to a Igni. You know, 2 13s is quite a nice Igni. We are currently on 70 points to his 50. You know, he's getting points every round, but I think we're getting more, which is quite good. And then what we're going to do with the Arrakis Queen is we're going to eat our Nekkers, and then we'll pull another Nekker. Oh man, all of the units. So let me think, 4 and 4 and 8, that's fine. So we're going to start eating Nekkers, and this will boost all of our Nekkers in the deck. And then the ones that get pulled out will obviously be quite strong. So we'll eat all those. This is like a greedy deck in that if they have Igni, you know, you're kind of at a risk. But you can see the amount of units we then pulled out of the deck there is kind of disgusting. We got 2 11 strength nekkers and a 10 strength nekker. At which point we can pull another nekker from the graveyard with Slizzard. So here comes Dijkstra into Death Mold, which I guess will be Alza's Thunder because there's not enough turns for weather. Unfortunately, like I said, we don't have a Forktail, so we can't thin even more nekkers, but I think all in all it should be okay. Oh, if he'd made that smaller, we could have actually potentially Slizzarded out a Babagazi. I'm getting weathered. So I think we play this. It doesn't really matter where we play it on the back row. Pull a premium nekker, why not? Buff all of our nekkers. Oh shit, they're both 12. Oh, it's okay, because he's a 13. I forgot that these two would be the same strength, and also that Slizzard was a buff, because it's a consume.
Left, right, left, right.
So we're going to eat a 9. I'll put this in the back row, because, you know, the back row is fine and not too stacked. And we will eat, a premium nekker, and that's going to buff all 4 of these nekkers as well. Shit, that made a huge Igni on the front row. I probably should have put this on the front row. If he has an Igni, I'm going to cry.
Don't make me.
It's fine, it's just Triss. And there you go, we win. Even though we didn't have optimal draws. Oh, 1 point. Jesus Christ, I forgot about Odrin. Even though we didn't have optimal draws in terms of our eating and our nekkers, we weren't able to cycle that many. We were still able to overcome our opponent and win. So I'm going to jump into another ranked game now, and I'll play this deck once more for you guys.
What is it I fancy today?
Okay, so this time around we're against Ada, and we don't have any nekkers, which is not good. Oh, there we go, we have a nekker. All has been saved. All has been saved. So we're going to get rid of 1 Forktail. We'll get rid of 1 Babagazi as well, which blacklists them, but also it's good to have a Forktail so that we have targets to eat. This hand is not bad. We maybe could throw a Slizzard into an Algul. Is not too shabby. The problem is we haven't really been seeing Giant Toad, so Algul, you know, he's better when you have something that you can eat. We are going to get swarmed today. I can eat this. Let's just eat this. This means if he doesn't have another one, it makes life a bit better for us. He did have another one. Which is, you know, unfortunate, but what can you do? What can you do? Do I have another way of killing it? I don't think I do. No. Okay, so let's just get on with our tactic now. Because basically he's going to spam spells and swarm out K20 Revenants. And that's just kind of what his strategy is. So you can see here. Ooh, Botchling and Lubberkin. That is a tempo play if ever there was one. So let's duplicate our nekkers. This is a very standard opening. Then we eat the Nekker Warrior, and then we Slizzard. I wonder how he's going to win multiple rounds, because if he played his Revenants now, it's going to make his life quite difficult. Like, his plan is to swarm Revenants, right? But realistically, that's going to be quite tricky for him, because after this round, you know, he has to have another win condition. Cool, so now we'll play Slizzard. Pull this. Duplicate our nekkers. And so we have 5 in deck now. If you have a Gwent tracker, like Gwent up, for example, you don't need to track your nekkers. But I need to do it because I don't have a tracker. So if we're going to lose this round, potentially what we do is actually play Frightener now. It'll force him to pass, but it'll mean we can trade out Frightener for a different card, which isn't too bad. Frightener is objectively probably the worst spy, because you don't get a choice of 2. Every other spy, I think, gives you a choice of 2 cards, whereas spy just gives you 1. Frightener just gives you 1 and moves a unit. He should pass here. If he doesn't pass here, he's an idiot. And has chosen to go 2 cards down. The alternative is, like, sometimes they play their own spy. That's also a play. Or they play Summoning Circle, and there's the pass. So this is fine. We'll get out of the round here. The only thing is, by playing the spy there, we lose last play, because it means we can't play it on one of these rounds, but it's harder to play a spy on a round you intend to win. And actually, because we just pulled Giant Toad, that's really awkward. It's really awkward because what we would have liked is to... I'm going to mulligan Barbagazi because I can pull one with Slizzard. What we would have liked is to actually have a good target for this. Okay, playing into this round. Interesting, interesting. The problem at the moment is we don't actually have a nekker. We can draw one with Slizzard, but if we do that, it's a bit awkward. I could eat this. It's actually not a bad strategy. So if I get a nekker now, I need to find a way to draw a nekker in the final round. I think realistically, hopefully we'll find something between Giant Toad and our card draw. So we're just going to have to do it. Because we want to, you know, if he's playing into this round, we want to keep duplicating nekkers. Resurrect a Bronze Cursed unit. Oh, interesting. I mean, that was a play, but you only had 3 targets. The problem here is 26 to 11. How do I make enough points? Unless I eat this Nekker Warrior. We decide not to play it. We eat it 6 and 9, 10. 6 and 10, 16. That's enough points. Oh, Igni. Nice. So I'm going to eat this Nekker Warrior. It means that, you know, I'm not getting my 3rd duplicate, but it puts me ahead. And at this stage, I didn't want to go to even cards. Like, if I can maintain card advantage, I want to do that. Yeah, keep buffing your cards. That's fine. So, 27 to 38. I need to make 11 points. Let's play Regis. That will suffice. 42 to 38. The problem I have is by playing into this round, he's making my life a bit awkward because short rounds aren't great for me. He also doesn't have a row that stacks enough to make this worthwhile. Maybe we take a Barbagazi. If we take a Barbagazi, what do we eat? If we eat the Nekker, we thin a Nekker. Which is okay. But it would probably be the Nekker from the top, right? So we don't really want to do that. Or we can get a ghoul. Let's get a ghoul. Put this on the back row. And eat the Nekker Warrior. Because we'll have another Nekker Warrior to eat without ghoul. And if he sets up an Igni for us, we're going to take it. He has not set up an Igni for us. The problem we have is, like I said, he's still playing cards. So we need to play cards as well. We can also play the Forktail and eat the 7 and the 3. Which would buff our nekkers, but not draw nekkers. The issue we have is that we don't have a way of drawing more nekkers. Like, if I can find, what's her name, Brewis, then we're in a really good spot. The question is whether I can do that. Algul's going to be better for a later round. So I think we just do this. Opens me up to Igni, though. So maybe we should have put him on the back row. If only because then, if he plays Igni on the back row, then I can Igni him in return. Yeah, I should have played on the back row. That's going to be an Igni. It must be, right?
Out of my head!
Did I just get debombed? Ew. Oh, that's nasty. How many points is this? 5 and 9. How many behind am I? 60... 17. So I think I have to play this. Please, once no Igni. Once no Igni. Come on. If he has Igni, I'm so fucked. Let's just put all of our points on one card. So I had to play that because I want to keep tempo with him. If he had Igni, he would have played it. I think he's accepted that this round he's going one card down into the final round, which he doesn't want. And hopefully that'll give us the edge, even though, you know, we don't have necessarily great cards. Realistically, does he have anything huge? I don't know. He passed. Okay, so now we pass. This means we can mulligan Icky, which is actually really good, because I don't think we'll see value out of it. Unless he has Nova. Do we think this is a Nova deck? It might be a Nova deck. So this is going to give us a dude. I think it might be a Nova deck. In which case, potentially we mulligan this. So we'll take a 15-point necker. We have 4 left in the deck. Unfortunately, we can't pull more than 1. But I think mulliganing the Forktail was good because we can eat the necker.
These dogs have no honor.
Okay. Is it a Nova deck? This is the question. 37 to 7.
I don't like men who turn.
It is not a Nova deck, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Hey, we win. Oh, that round 2 was scary. It's scary, like, going into the final round not having a way to, like, not having a way you can keep back to draw a necker, but obviously we drew the Fiend, so we were lucky. We also had Brewer's Ritual we could have drawn, which would have given us a necker, and I think also a necker near the top of the deck. So yeah, that is the deck, and these are the kind of thoughts that you kind of want to make. Him playing into round 2 allowed us to go into round 3 on 2-card advantage, and although we didn't see Igni value, we could have mulliganed it. I thought he might have Nova, so I held it because we had last play. But, you know, if you don't think you're running against a Nova deck, you can just mulligan it and find something better. So we would have had the Forktail and the Owlghoul, which I think would have been relatively strong. If you like this video, you know, hit that thumbs up button. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and you can always subscribe. Let me know what kind of decks you want me to play. I know that you guys want a Scorch deck and a play your opponent's deck, so those are on my docket to make. But if there's any other sorts of decks you'd like to see, again, let me know. I've also going to be starting a new series next week called Fan Fridays, so I'll link my Discord in the description, and on the Discord there is a channel, a text channel, where you can submit decks. So if you want to see me play your deck, basically I'll critique your deck and then I'll play a couple games with it. Go on the Discord, post your deck, and I'll pick one each week to play. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. Bye!